Hello, everyone, and welcome to my show that's hosted by Unique Voices in Films and the Path of Consciousness. Today, my guest is Stephen Hannawi. Hello, Stephen.
Hello, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for joining us. So, Stephen is the founder and president of the Chaldean Language Workshop at Oakland University, a student-led initiative dedicated to reviving the Chaldean language and preserving cultural identity. Originally from Telkepe, Iraq, he has served as a deacon in the Chaldean Church since childhood, with advanced degrees in law, intellectual property, and software engineering, and current studies in artificial intelligence. Stephen bridges ancient tradition with modern innovation to keep the Chaldean language alive for future generations. Wow, Stephen. So I had an interview with Dr. Crystal Kassab, and we were just talking about the importance of preserving the language and how we need help in this area. And I told her about you. I said, well, Stephen is trying to do that. So thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
And, I attended, when was the recent graduation at Oakland University? Was it last
about a week ago. Yeah.
I attended that. It was so beautiful to see. And I wrote an article for the Chaldean News. So it should actually be out any day now, which is very perfect because May is Chaldean American Month. And so we are honoring people like yourself who have, contributed so much for the community. But let's go back to your childhood a little bit. Let's go to the beginning. So you were born in Telkepe?
Yes, Telkepe, yeah.
Okay, Telkepe. So how did your early life shape your commitment to preserving the Chaldean language?
Yeah, I started going to daily Ramsha, which is Vespers. It's a daily Vespers, daily slow thought prayer. Every day we have it at 4 p.m. in Telkepe Church. So I started going. I was a child then, 8 years old. We gave peace. After every Ramsha, we give peace like kids. We give peace. Then we start holding candles. Then we started reading the rosary for, there were a lot of, daily, we would have like 200 people, 150 to 200 people daily coming to church.
Stephen, when was this?
This was in late 1980.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had like people coming, and the youth, they needed children to start doing things. So the old ladies would encourage us, chant the rosary. So as children, we start chanting the rosary. And the environment, I a little bit get emotional when speaking about the childhood. But the environment was a lot of good people, a lot of great people, good environment. I can identify saints around the church. So I felt this is like safe environment, good environment to grow. So I said, wow, this is good. I want to stay. I want to continue coming. And then in Telkepe, when you want to become a deacon, you have to read Chaldean to participate in the Ramsha every day. Mm-hmm. So you have to know all the hymns. You have to know some hymns come like once a year, some twice a year. You have to know all that. You have to be a good reader. It takes a while to learn a language. Hymns, they're not 1 and 2. They're a big number. Some of them are long. Mm-hmm. Needs capability. So the environment was good. A lot of good people. So I wanted to stay. And when I was 13, mm-hmm. I just see the language going away because the demographic was changing.
Okay.
Government intervention, taking lands for free, Chaldean lands for thousands of years, taken for free by the government. The government would take them for free, build on them homes, modern homes, and give them to non-Chaldeans for free. So this was demographic was changing, and I did see the difference between my grandparents' Chaldean and my generation Chaldean, I realized how dangerous, how fast the fading of the language was. Like people, a lot of words my grandparents spoke, we did not speak them. Matter of fact, kids would make fun of those words because they say, "Oh, this old style," because we're not learning in school. So of course, this becomes a stereotype. Now that's only for the old people. Who cares about old people language? But we're forgetting that Chaldean is a language of science. Yeah, go ahead.
So did that make you want to preserve it because you were seeing how it was deteriorating?
Yeah, I felt the urgency. Being with all, even that I was like 13, I made a vow. I was 13. Being between older people made me realize, my mentors were all older people, made me realize how dangerous this is and how fast it's fading. And I made a vow, and I started teaching every summer. I would have like 40 students every summer from May to September.
And this is in Telkepe?
In Telkepe when I was a teenager.
Yes.
All my teenagerhood, I did that.
So when did you leave there? And did you go to Baghdad, or did you come directly to the United States?
No, I never lived in Baghdad. I never lived in Mosul. So I'm Telkepe 100%.
Okay.
So this is what you get. Like, this is part of our traditions. Telkepe is a pocket, was the biggest pocket of Chaldean. That's why its loss is so tragic.
Yes.
To the Chaldean language, was the biggest pocket, and that pocket was systemically targeted with all these intentional demographic change, backed by confiscating lands, and people were trying to get the lands because they use it for farming. They could not do that. It's gone.
So did you leave because of the situation that was in Iraq? Did you leave before or after ISIS attacked Telkepe?
Before, yeah.
Before?
Yes.
So you were lucky not to have witnessed that.
Yes, and also the tapes, because I was in charge of a manuscript library from 13 to 18.
Okay.
So I was in charge of the manuscripts. And also, I put all the categories and arrange them. They were in like areas where a lot of matlana, musty places. So we with a group of some deacons, we arranged it. We changed the rooms. I started categorizing. Father Bishop Habbi. He categorized the manuscripts. I only put the stickers on them and arranged them and put them on big shelves. However, the print, we had a lot of printed books. No one did that, so I had to do everything for the printed. Also, we had, electricity came to Telkepe in 1940s, so we had a lot of, reel by reel. The big recording, the reel by reel,
okay.
the half inch from the 1940s. So all the Chaldean hymns, the ancient one, never used. Like some of them were never used. We no longer use them. Even the priest, Father Raphael Kanwin, told me, don't even learn, don't even bother, because we're not gonna even chant those anymore. I told him, Father, I'm going to learn it for history. This is the music of Akkad, music of Somar. This is our history for thousands of years. Even that we no longer chant it, I have to learn it I want to preserve it. So even that I was young at 13 years old, there was a sense of urgency because what I was seeing.
So this was even before ISIS attacked. You still had that sense of urgency. You kind of were able to see what was happening before the final biggest destruction that occurred.
Yes, was already systematic erasure of our culture. The difference that I've seen, my grandfather was a poet, and we used to read his poet, and he used to explain it to me, and I would write it in my own hand. So he's using words I've never heard of, and he had a lot of like poetry, and I thought, what is these words? I start learning from him, and start keeping intentionally going every day to his house, and we're reading his poems and all the ancient words that we no longer use. I wanted to keep them, so I learned that from him. Also, Father Raphael Kanuna. When I was 13, I started translating St. Paul letter from the classical, which we call classical. This is the dialect of Edessa, from dialect of Edessa to Telkepe dialect. I was translating St. Paul letters. These are not easy. St. Paul is a theologian, big theologian. They're not easy to translate. And the opposite of gospel. Gospel is easy to translate. So you have to be good, and it was instant translation. This is a skill. You have to practice doing it.
And when did you leave Telkepe? When did you arrive to the United States?
94, 95.
In 1994, 95. Have you gone back since or
Never.
No? Never. Now I want to get to the topic of you teaching at Oakland University. How did that even happen? How did you initiate something like this and recruit? I heard some of the stories from the students. One of the words that they repeated often is your passion is one of the things that drew them in. When you would ask them if they were Chaldean, if they knew Chaldean, but what planted that idea in your head to begin with?
My vow at 13 is everything. However, I did see that the language is fading away, and I wanted to address that, but students did not have that safe environment where they can come and learn and make the mistakes without being embarrassed. Let's learn together and provide instruction which will give them structure, vocabulary, and also to make them confident and give them the sentences, how it's structured, the grammar. This was important that they learn that, so then they are confident. Some did not know much, like only a few words. Some were more comfortable, knew some. So what I wanted was give them the environment and give them structure. I will do conversation when I was doing the drills with the alphabet, I was always writing words, give them new vocabs to strengthen their capability with the language.
And do you think this is something that you can or you will continue? And if so, how and where? How do you see this expanding? Because again, this is Dr. Crystal Kassab is an educator at West Bloomfield.
Okay.
And this is one thing that she found is the most challenging was preserving the language.
I think before the old generation we have to do something now. It's very urgent. Something must be done now. If maybe 10 years from now, too late.
What is it? What do you think has to be done, and who has to be involved to help the process?
Of course, this is a big project. It's a community project.
It's a community project.
Everyone has to get involved.
Yes.
It's not one person. However, maybe or you help me with publishing, giving language momentum. That was a good thing. God bless them. The leaders are great. They help in that regard. So I think our goal should be the youth. First, high schools. Then, more importantly, third-year vision would be children. Children, like very young, like within the first early years. This would be, this is when you hear the language and you start structuring, because you are preserving Chaldean memory, cultural memory, spiritual memory, family memory.
Through the language, you are preserving all these aspects. So it's not, the language goes beyond just speaking a particular language, but all the what you just said, the family memory, spirituality, everything associated with this language because it was spoken by Jesus.
Exactly.
And how do you feel? One of the things, I also saw you for Mother Language Day at Oakland University. We both gave a short talk about the Chaldean language. What are your views about the language, the change in the language to being called Aramaic after, over 1,000 years, over 1,600 years being called Chaldean?
Yes. I've seen books where call cuneiform. Cuneiform means wedge-shaped. Is not the identity of the writing. A lot of people who deciphered the cuneiform called it Chaldean script. And this is the original identity of the script. Cuneiform, you are describing the script, where Chaldean, you giving the identity of the script. So it's always been Chaldean. Sumerian term was coined in 1869, never existed before. They never called themselves Sumerians. Akkadian is a geographical by city, Akkadian, but they were never ethnicity. So we have to go by our ethnic background, which is the identity, not geographical city identity. So I think always, also, the Assyrian is a religion, and whoever worship Assur is Assyrian.
But they called it Aramaic because the academia, the research shown that it was the Arameans that the language. But after, and this is something that is some people have debated, but after 1,600 years, but we still call it like Chaldean in our language, in our culture. And isn't the name also part of a culture? It's not just something after 1,600 years that when you're changing it, isn't that part of the name as well?
Well, I have I went to law school, and I studied intellectual property.
Yeah.
And when someone creates something, he's the original author of something. If you take it and claim it to be yours, this plagiarism, you have to file a lawsuit, and you can get a lot of money for the profit you're making. You can't take someone else's language and claim it to be yours. This is not from Syria. This language is in Uruk, in writing, documented, what's called the Akkadian Empire, what expanded the language until today. This is the biggest language of the world. Until today, this was the lingua franca and the language of science for 3,000 years. We're not talking, this is not any language we're talking. No, this is not any language. The authors, they have the clay tablets for the inventions and adding words to the point that the ancient Chaldean called Akkadian, of course, this is not true, it's a Chaldean. So this language is Chaldean since 5,500 years ago. We created those words. We created dictionaries. We created inventions. That's how our language became the lingua franca for 3,000 years. No one can take that from us and claim it to be his. You are Syrian, from Syria. I love people in Syria, but I'm sorry. We created those vocabularies. They're ours originally. Matter of fact, when you got it, the language shrunk because we lost sovereignty. When Akkadian was the biggest language of the world because we had an empire. Aramaic took a lot of our terms. It's 90%, 92% Chaldean or ancient Chaldean, whatever called Akkadian, whatever. That is 92% of ours, 8% Greek. Do you know how many words we have Greek in Aramaic, which is dead language now?
How many?
Like you look up the what do you call? You see, even Syriac, the Western.
Yeah.
The letters are taken from the Greek, and all their vowels are Greek. How can our language, the first script in the world who taught the world writing, that's how we created history. After writing, our writing, laws, irrigation, architecture, stars, watching stars, and everything, irrigation, extracting minerals, agriculture. We created all that with our language because we started documenting things, passing on generation from knowledge from generation to generation.
So would you say this is one of the main misconceptions that people have about the Chaldean language and its history? Is the misconception about giving it different labels that the people of that land did not? The people of the land gave it the Chaldean language.
Yes. Aramaic is a misnomer, clearly. Syriac, misnomer. I mean, I have evidence of, showing this was until recently they started calling it these names. And the Syriac would not print Chaldean Church books until you put Syriac book because they had the print, the press. So they were forcing us to put their name, serve their agenda because we didn't have the press. But this is all false. This is about originality. I'm sorry, this language is from Mesopotamia, ancient southern Mesopotamia, Kaldu.
Okay.
Very clear about that.
So when you look 20 to 30 years ahead, what does success in language revival look like to you? What's your dream about this?
Yes, my dream would be all kids speak Chaldean, all kids, which means programs, teachers using AI, all the technology that we can teach classes, apps, all the tools that we can use to help the next generation, and it's doable.
You have faith that it's doable.
It's doable.
Yes.
So now I even for OU, I made this what do you call it? Is a proof of concept.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even expect it to go this far. But I'm like deacons from different countries calling me. They said, "Oh, we had an idea, but we didn't do it. Now we saw you teaching. Now we're teaching." So you build momentum. People see that you're doing it for the love of the language and nothing. No, it's not a personal project. It's a community project. People, they say, "Okay, well, this guy is, he's doing it."
They're inspired.
Yes.
I know this is, excuse me, this is what I saw, is that people are inspired by your love for the language and to revive it. And by the way, it wasn't just the students. It was also the faculty at OU that were there, that were celebrating with everybody.
Yes, they all came to this ceremony, and they're all encouraging the Chaldean language. And their marketing department, communication department, became the communication department of the Chaldean language. This is how awesome is that. This became a connection. The workshop became a connection between a community and a university. And I love how things went for the Chaldean language, and hopefully things will improve.
I hope so. I know that when I came home, I myself was influenced, and I was making sure that I was communicating in Chaldean with my children, because it does make a difference, but it has to be more ongoing. It has to be a more regular, not just when I'm interviewing you, when I'm in your presence, but to make sure to take it home and make it a daily routine in our life.
Yes. Yeah, that's a big thank you for mentioning that. And that's all the goal was, to bring this topic to the Chaldean homes and dinner tables. Let's speak about the language. This topic was forgotten. Let's speak more about it. And that's why I care about, when the university was posting and doing things. Because every week I post I make announcement. Is to remind people of the language on TikTok, on Facebook. We have to keep reminding people.
Yes.
This topic should be talked about all the time. It's a community thing.
Right.
One man cannot do, one hand cannot clap. This is like every home, every parent should take responsibility, start speak Chaldean more often. It's a family thing because this is family language in Telkepe. This was a family thing.
Yes, and it's a beautiful language. And again, thank you so much for all that you do. It is very inspiring, and I hope that you continue succeeding in it. And next time we'll have you. I even talked to your students about the possibility of having a round table where we can discuss the importance of doing that. So
Beautiful.
yeah, you really got us talking about this topic. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you so
joining
much. Thank you
us.
for having me. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. God
Thank
bless.
you everybody
Appreciate
for
it.
watching, and have a wonderful day.